Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Weekend Wanderlust edition of the KISS podcast.
Keep it
And
simple, sister.
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm diving right into your part.
It's
If
fine.
we ever get this right.
Well,
So
you keep trying to trick me, so I'm trying to be really pay attention.
I'm Samantha.
And I'm Diana, and welcome to our Keep It Simple Sister podcast.
We just love messing with you. I'm sorry. It's fun to do it this way.
It's okay.
So, as everyone knows now, if you've been to our Tuesday podcast, then you know that our topic was all about doing what you love.
What
And
makes your heart sing?
yes. And there's one thing that you will hear every single time I bring up something like that. I always say, do what you love with integrity. And the reason why I say that, just as, you know, a disclaimer, serious note here for just a moment, is that you can do what you love and be slightly pathological about it, not caring about what other people, the impact that it has on other people. So, you know, when we talk about do what you love, we mean, you know, no harm to anyone else, you know, and but fulfilling your soul's needs, your soul's desires, so that you are putting yourself in that space of alignment with your higher self and bringing more possibilities, more potential of excitement into your life.
Yes.
That was a lot.
No, but I think integrity is important. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. And we're all about some Bible verses lately, but we're not really all that religious. But seriously, whenever integrity is doing the right thing when no one's watching.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. I like
So
that.
and listening to your heart and your mind tell you, yes, this is good for everybody, not just me.
And when your heart and mind are in alignment, that's coherence.
Okay, another big word. I love it. Love it. Okay. And we'll
got
do
a
a whole podcast on coherence coming
Yeah.
down the pike, I'm pretty sure.
Coherence now.
So,
So,
and this is how we come up with our topics for you guys. We're like, oh, okay, well, let's do that one.
yeah,
Okay, and then we try and organize them in some semblance of order.
it's so
So
fun.
just know, you never know what you're going to get from us.
Exactly. Okay, so on to the topic of doing what you love.
Yes.
We discussed what the energy of that is, what it feels like, and how we've gone out there and just put ourselves out there following those it's almost like a cookie crumb trail of you know, leading us to exciting things, you know, fun stuff that we want to experience. So how what else can we talk about with that?
Well, what I was thinking about is one of the things that, and I mean, should I tell them what the assignment is first, and then what I would do with it, or
I
I
would
think,
talk about the travel aspect. Remember you said something about travel.
yeah, but I was going to give the example of what I would have written, but that's okay, and I
That's
will
okay.
in a minute. Okay.
Yep.
So one of the things that makes my heart sing is travel. I love to travel. I love to see new places. I love to meet new people. I love to taste new foods. Some. I'm not really adventurous with all that. But I just
Working
love
on her with the food.
I just love the feeling of being somewhere different that other people have been for many, many years. So, you know,
That's cool.
America is such a young country. I
Well,
love to
we are
travel
and
in
we
Europe.
aren't.
What?
Okay. We are and we aren't.
Well, yes. Well,
This rendition is, but many people, societies have been here before then, which fascinates me.
well, and for me, I am not nature girl. So what will end up happening when you're looking at the previous societies, in my mind and my experience, is that you have to go to nature for that because they lived in nature more. I do not. I like a toilet and I like a shower. And so this is about me. This
Wait,
is not.
this is an educational moment. Okay. Where I thought you were going with this is because no, they had whole cities, Poverty Point in Louisiana. Have you ever heard of that?
I have not. And see, that's why I'm just not as worldly as you are. But I have a
No,
deep interest in other cultures.
yeah. where you can physically see what they've done, is what you're
Exactly.
saying, like
And I like to branch out farther than where I could drive. I guess that's kind of what makes my heart sing.
okay.
Not that I don't like doing other, things that are nearby or in America or whatever, but somehow I'm just drawn to Europe. I'm drawn. Um, so if I could do anything that I wanted, money was not an object. I didn't have to have a job. I didn't have to worry about other people depending on me. If I could just go and do, it would be to travel.
Mhm.
Um, and so I like to sit in the energy, the experience of how I feel when I travel. So I imagine and I remember what has happened when I've traveled before and how I felt.
Yeah.
And then in my mind's eye, I try to imagine if I was in Paris, how would I feel? And we've talked about this before. I'm going to Paris and Sam's going with me.
Yeah.
And you guys all can go too, because I'm going to plan a trip for
Yep.
everybody.
Yep.
But it's all about the feeling. This do what you love is all about how you feel, what makes you happy. And for me, that would be traveling as much as I possibly could.
Well, and see, traveling is that's a thing for me too.
Uh-huh.
And I've been very fortunate to do that a lot in the United States. And I'm a road tripper. I could get
Yeah.
in the car and go one direction as far as I could go. And then when I reach the end of that, take a right. I
Well,
just
and
love
I
it.
get car sick, so that's probably part of what has kept me from that.
Because there's so much stuff to see here. But
Yeah.
when
That's what my husband says. And
well,
I say, I'll fly and meet you there.
so when I'm planning a trip, like I don't know if the trip's going to come to fruition, but we talk about, if what I love is traveling, um, I can start like you have to get the information together. You have to start
Right.
somewhere and start accumulating the knowledge because how do you really know how much money you need? How do you and how can you even
Or
begin
how
to start?
much time it will take or what there is to see. Yeah.
Yep. So I started planning trips using Google Maps and I had a camper at the time. So I not only had to take into account the way that we would go, but the available kind of campgrounds, gas range, how far could we go on a tank of gas, how much that's going to cost, and also what sites would be interesting along the way, and what sites would be interesting for he was, I guess Brody was 13 or 14 when we started. So for a young boy, what would be interesting to him?
Yeah.
And as I started planning these on an Excel sheet with all of these, like destination, where we'd spend the night, and, all of the other columns, it's funny. It just came to me, oh my God, these are epic trips. And so I have like 2015 epic trip to blah, 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 2017 epic trip to, and even planning a trip to France, same thing so for me, I go so much into the detail of it and exploring it that if I suddenly couldn't go, I've gained all of that. I felt like I've actually seen, been there, done that. So I no longer feel as if that was ripped from my hands of being able to go because I've now accumulated that knowledge. But my mom, I just have to say it because this is so funny. My mom's thing is you plan it out to the nth degree because then you have all that knowledge. And then she says, then you throw away the piece of paper and you go.
I need the piece of paper. I need the I'm well, and I get that. I understand that,
Yeah.
but I want a piece of paper too.
But you can always change what you're going to do is basically
True.
what it is. If you decide you want to stay someplace another
But
night,
that's the teacher in me. I need a piece of paper and an office supply. So your mom might
she
not
needs her
have
post-it notes.
that. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Hold on, I
But it's
had
but it,
something.
but I guess what I was saying is like when you're figuring out what it is you love, maybe it's not career, it's just activities you want to do or whatever.
How to spend your time.
Yeah, it's don't go, well, I only have $100. So what am I going to do? It's what is it excites me? So figure that out first and
Yeah,
then start making steps towards it because abundance is not always about the money. Remember, money is the tool.
right.
So you don't know if somebody might just go, oh, well, I have a place there. You can just stay there free of charge. and someone else go, oh, I have a companion ticket, I could go with you, you
Mhm.
have no concept of how it could turn out.
And the how is none of our business.
Yes,
The what we want to do, how we want to, well, the how we want to feel, but the feeling is our business. But how that comes to play, you just never know.
exactly. You
All
don't.
right, so let's give our weekend wanderlust assignment.
Yes.
If this is your mission, if you choose to accept it, sometime that's just going to roll right off my tongue, but it's kind
I
of,
know.
I don't
And
know,
I'm
whatever.
so glad to throw it to you and have you say that, because I mess it up every freaking time.
So what we want you to do, and if you have time when you get off this podcast, do it now while you're thinking about it, is get a piece of paper or a notebook, whatever you like. And at the top, you need to write money was not it,
If money.
if money was not an issue,
Hmm.
I, and then you're going to write it in the past tense as if it already happened. So for me, I might have, and you're going to tell us why that's important in a second. So get ready. For me, mine might say, I spent the last 3 months traveling in Europe. I went to Switzerland. I went to Germany. I saw Big Ben. I saw the Eiffel Tower. I got to ride on a boat in the Seine. All of it,
Hmm.
all the things that I wish I, had done, but I'm writing it in past tense because it's already done. And that tricks your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is going to make that happen.
Hmm. Well, because what you're doing is it's what is that called? The law of, not substitution, the law of not obsolescence, but it's where you create that vacuum. And so when you sit there and you're like, this has happened, I know, this felt great, this is what this was like, but you don't make it so exact that it's impossible to fill, but you give a good feeling around some of the highlights. Then the universe abhors, like things being unequal, and therefore it has to rush in and make that.
So law of balance,
Thank
but there might
you,
be a
law of
bigger
balance.
word. I don't know. But the universe likes things to be balanced.
Mm,
And so by me saying all that happened and it didn't really happen, that's got to balance out somehow.
yep.
And how it happens is none of my business. That's just, in my mind's eye. And then as I'm writing, I'm imagining, I'm thinking, I'm feeling. And so that's what we would like you guys to do.
And
Um,
I want to make a point of, take a moment and feel out the difference. If you were writing that list and you said, okay, if money wasn't an object, and instead you wrote it this way: I would like to go to Paris. I would like to see the Eiffel Tower. I would like. And each time you say, I would like, you're basically saying, this would please me, but, you know, it'll
it's
hope,
not
but
going to.
how you hope it's going to happen sometime down down the road. And it's like, you're putting that energy out there. So
Mhm.
when Diana, that's what caught me. I was like, I got to point this out, because when you said write it in the past tense, which I wasn't thinking about at the moment, of how exactly they should write it. But when you say, I have done this, like it's it brings such a richness into your life. It's like you've explored, you've experienced, you've, felt the whole, just, glory of it or whatever. So then,
Riding the high from it because it
yes.
already happened and you're still so excited about it and the memories and the this and the that and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, play with those if you guys want to. Little bonus, play with what it feels like to write I would on one topic, and on that same topic turn around and say not something that's super important to you, just, but just I would this, and then I have, been here, done this, seen
Yeah.
this. But our assignment to you is specifically for you to write it as if it's already happened.
And pick anything.
Hmm.
Anything. I mean, shoot for the moon.
And then what do we want them to do?
I don't know.
We want you to come back to the Facebook group. We want you to come back to the Facebook group,
Yes,
Kiss
and let's
Kiss Podcast group, and share with us. Please let us know how it went. We would love
well,
to.
and I just got tired of saying that, so that's what I said. I don't know because
Yeah.
please, people, interact with us.
Yes.
I'm begging you.
So come back to the Facebook group and share with us, what it was like, what it felt like. Maybe you'll have some insights that didn't occur to us, and we would
Yeah,
love to hear it.
and we want you to like and subscribe and
Do all
suggest
that stuff.
us to your friends and help us build our community. We would love that.
Yes, because we grow stronger in community, and we also um it's much easier to, when we're all walking alongside each other, when someone begins to trip, falter, have problems, it's easier to link arms, pull another one, pull them up, and move forward, stay on track when we're all working synergistically in a community.
Yes.
So
We love
yay.
it.
Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yes, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.